So I thought today we will talk about the glories of Damodar month, because we start Kartik month from tomorrow. Some say today, but the temple said tomorrow. So since this is the most auspicious month of all the months, which is very, very dear to Radha and Krishna, so it would be nice to hear the glories of this month of Damodar. Now it is mentioned that Satyavrata Muni, he wrote the Damodar Ashtakam. We all know, we sing throughout the whole month by offering a ghee lamp. So in the Padma Puran, there is a conversation between Narad Muni and Shaunaka Rishi about the glories of this auspicious month called Damodar or Kartik. Now this prayer, which is Damodar Ashtakam, is describing the childhood pastime of Krishna. We all have heard the pastime, but there's no harm in hearing again, right? Especially in this auspicious month of Damodar. So as it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam about this beautiful pastime where Mother Yashoda was nursing Krishna. And while she was doing that, the milk on the stove was boiling and it was overflowing. It was boiling and overflowing. And the acharyas explain that the milk wanted to commit suicide. Isn't that beautiful? The milk wanted to commit suicide because the milk is thinking, well, I'm here for Krishna. I want Krishna to drink me. But if Krishna is going to be nursed by Yashoda Maya, then his stomach will be full and then there'll be no place in his stomach for me. So it is better, if I'm not able to serve Krishna, let me commit suicide. That's beautiful, right? Do we ever think like that? Oh, if I'm not able to serve Krishna, let me commit suicide. But Prabhupada says committing suicide is not recommended. Yes, it's not recommended, because this human form of life is given to us by the Supreme Lord for a purpose, to become self-realized. So we cannot end it before its due time. So when Yashoda Maya saw that the milk is overflowing, she left Krishna on the side and she went running to remove the milk from the stove. Now, this made Krishna very angry. That here I am hungry, I want you to feed me, and you're keeping me aside for what? For the milk that is boiling on the stove. Now, this is a pastime of Krishna. He wanted not only to give pleasure to his mother Yashoda in this pastime, but we know what was the second reason. Do you remember the second reason?
To liberate Jagai Mata.
Yes, to liberate those two trees that were cursed and were in the yard of
Nagativedha and Manikriva.
Yes, they were in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. So Krishna also wanted to liberate those trees. So here we see that, Mother Yashoda, when she goes to take care of the milk, Krishna gets angry. And what does he do? He does another pastime which gives pleasure to the devotees. He went around breaking the pots, butter pots, and started eating that butter. And when Yashoda, when she saw that, what is he doing? Imagine, we all have had children and we know how mischievous they are when they are little. They like to throw things, and break things and break toys, everything. And then that is a mess, which means we have to clean that mess. So here Yashoda was thinking, what did he do? He, with so much difficulty, I churned the butter, he broke the pot and he ate it. So she took a stick and started running after Krishna. She wanted to chase him, catch him, and give him some punishment. Now the question is, can anyone catch Krishna? It's not possible. It is not possible at all. If you remember that pastime of Kalyavan, Kalyavan started running after Krishna to catch him. And they were so close. And the faster Krishna was not running fast, but he was running fast and he still couldn't catch him. He was just an arm's length, but he still couldn't catch him, because Krishna can be caught only when he wants to be caught, not when we want to catch him, right? So that is the beauty. So here, Yashoda Maya is running after him, and in this pastime, to give pleasure to Yashoda, he is fearful. Like children, when of course nowadays parents don't take a stick and beat the children. They will call what? 911, right? Yes. I remember one devotee's daughter had heard in school that if your parents trouble you, you can call 911. I don't know whether she understood the impact of calling 911, but one day the mother, was telling the daughter, do your homework, do your homework. She won't. Then, so mother, raised her voice to say, you must do your homework. She went in her room and called 911. Oh. And here come the cop. Here comes the cop. And the parents are shocked. Like, what happened? Well, your daughter called us that you're harassing her, you're abusing her. You see? So nowadays, no one takes the stick, like in our days, even the teacher in school would take a stick, Oh, hit on the knuckles. Yes, yes. And that's very painful. But here, when Krishna saw that Yashoda is running after him with a stick, he was so fearful. Now, when we sing Damodar Ashtakam, we understand, right? That tears were flowing, and his kajal also was flowing down, all black, black. So he also started running, running, running. And then finally, when he saw, my mother is so tired running after me, all the perspiration he could see, her flower garland, which was the gajra was, which was there, and from the hair was falling off, her, palo was flying and all. Then he said, okay, now I will let her catch me. That means it is Krishna's will. So after giving this enjoyment, of this pastime, he let Yashoda catch him. And then what did she do? She bind him to the mortar. Now, when she was trying to bind, what was happening? The rope was 2 fingers short. She thought, well, let me take another rope and again try. Every time she did that, it was always 2 fingers short. What is Krishna trying to explain to us with this pastime? Very nicely, Acharyas explain that these 2 fingers are our endeavor and Krishna's mercy. These 2 are required. If we do not endeavor, how will we get the mercy of the Lord? Does that make sense? Right? We cannot. So our endeavor, so Krishna sees our sincerity, our seriousness in doing bhakti, and then he rewards us accordingly. Like in Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam statheva bhajami aham. So as to the extent that we surrender to Krishna, to that extent he will bestow his mercy upon us. So when Krishna saw that my mother is really tired and is unable to tie me, he allowed her to finally tie him to the mortar. So this is what is explained in the Damodar Ashtakam. When we read the Damodar Ashtakam, when we sing it, this is what we read, that finally Krishna was conquered by Yashoda Maya's love. This is how we can conquer Krishna. Not that devotees want to conquer, with weapons and all. Let's go have a fight and conquer him. No, conquer him with love. So the prayer that is written by Satyavrata Muni, which is called Damodar Ashtakam, it is explaining this beautiful pastime of Mother Yashoda binding Krishna to the mortar. So, Damodar. Dam means the rope. Udar means the belly. So one who is tied with the rope around the belly is called Damodar. So that is how we worship Lord Damodar in this month of Kartik. You must have seen Lord Damodar on the altar. You saw that? Yes, because I started worshipping from today. I'm not sure whether it is starting today or tomorrow. So better to be on the safe side. Yes, do Damodar Ashtakam today. So this prayer explains to us how we can surrender to Lord Damodar, especially in this month of Kartik. It is said, it is described in the scriptures, even the acharyas explain that during the month of Kartik, if one offers ghee lamp, not oil lamp, ghee lamp. Many like to save money and put oil in the wick instead of putting the ghee. So it says those who offer ghee lamp to Lord Damodar and sing Damodar Ashtakam every day, morning and evening, if that's not possible, at least once a day, if we offer the ghee lamp, then what is the result? That offering of ghee lamp, it perishes, it destroys all the sins we may have committed, not we have committed during many past lifetimes, many lifetimes, which we don't remember. We don't even remember the sins we have committed in this lifetime. So, what to talk of previous lifetime? So, all the sins are destroyed just by offering ghee lamp to Lord Damodar in this month. This month is considered to be the holiest of all the months, and those who worship Lord Damodar in this month, they, just like Yashoda Maya could bind him, similarly the devotees can bind Krishna with their love, with, bind him in our hearts. We all have heard, right? Krishna says, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishto. I'm situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma or Super Soul. So we can bind him in our hearts so that he doesn't run away. He's not going to run away. But the idea is that binding him to the heart, to our heart, means we can realize him. Now, theoretically, we know Krishna is in the heart, correct? Theoretically, we know. But how do we realize that? How do we practically understand that? This month helps us to meditate on Lord Damodar so that we can bind him in our hearts with love. So it is suggested by the acharyas that during this month, one should wake up very early in the morning, after bathing, then worship the Supreme Lord. First, of course, Srila Prabhupada has taught us what we should do. Of course, after bathing, then when we open our temple room, we first offer some fruits or milk or something or some sweets to the Lord, right? We do that. And after that, then we do the abhishek, we bathe the deities, and then we offer the arati. And at that time, during this month, we can offer the Damodar Ashtakam. And also, it is good to worship Vrinda Devi, Tulasi Maharani, especially chant in front of her when we are chanting in the morning. Srila Prabhupada has explained that worshipping Tulasi Maharani helps us also to destroy our sins. And she helps us to develop love for Krishna. So if we can somehow or the other, chant in front of Tulasi Maharani, then we can progress spiritually. Now there are many benefits of this month, this holy month, but also if one can take a vow in this month. You see, it's Damodar Vrata. Vrata means a sacrifice, right? So if we perform some sort of sacrifice or austerity in this month, we get benefit 1,000 times. 1,000 times. So supposing I am chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, one time, it is equal to 1,000 times. That is the benefit of this Kartik month or the month of Damodar. So if we can take a vow, some take a vow that they will give up something that is very dear to them, not the spouse, which someone may like to do, but That's not what the point is. Give up something like, I know one devotee who gives up eating the favorite food in this month. You see, something that's very, very dear. Or take a vow that I will read more of Srila Prabhupada's books, or I'm going to chant more, or I am going to hear more, something, some vow, at least in this 1 month. And that is what will help us to progress spiritually, because it's an austerity, right? Supposing I like sweet rice or gulab jamun, if I give it up in this 1 month, it is an austerity because it is very dear to me. This also helps us to control our senses. This is what it helps us. So here the glories of the Damodar month is being explained, and the acharyas say that the purpose of this month of Kartik is that we utilize all our time in Krishna consciousness, which means we have to be conscious of Krishna all the time. This should be true in all the months. But at least in this month of Kartik, we should see if we can utilize our time in full Krishna consciousness, chanting more, reading more, associating more with devotees, serving in the temple or serving otherwise, and also chanting with attention. Usually, the chanting, after some time, I was listening to Janardhan Maharaj, I think it was yesterday or day before, when someone asked him a question about chanting. So Maharaj was saying that he has noticed that because of not being attentive while chanting, devotees sometimes chant extra Hare. You see, did you notice that? Actually, I have noticed that, that if we don't pay attention, then that can happen, like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. You see, the Supreme Lord has given us this Maha Mantra, 16 words, all put together, has the potency of all the mantras in the Vedic scriptures. So who are we to change it? So this is what happens when there is not attentive chanting. And why should we read more? Because when we read more, we sharpen our intelligence, and then we are able to understand what is the purpose of human form of life. It's purification of our intelligence, and reading Srila Prabhupada's books helps us to remove our doubts. Correct? Even in the Bhagavad Gita, why did Arjuna ask so many questions to Krishna? He wanted to remove his doubts, and he considered these doubts to be like demons. Anyone likes demons? Nobody likes demons. No one likes demons in front of them or in their house or in neighborhood, anywhere. So reading will help us to remove our doubts. So maybe if we can take a vow to hear one Prabhupada lecture every day. Like it is said, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. One lecture a day keeps Maya away. If we can hear Srila Prabhupada. And another vow, which is very, very difficult. Can you guess? What could be the most difficult vow in this month? What do you think?
Wake up early.
Wake up early. Rajiv Sham said attentive chanting. Yes, but most difficult. These all are difficult. Waking up early, chanting attentively. But what is most difficult?
Give sense gratification. Give
Yeah,
up.
that is also difficult, but most difficult. Yes, yes, social media. If only we can stay away from social media, even though it's very tempting. Right? Have you noticed the children, even adults I've seen, all the time they're looking at the phone. Any message, any call, any update in Facebook, any this, any that. So if we can take a vow to reduce social media during this time. This month of Kartik belongs to Srimati Radharani, according to the Acharyas. And this month is very dear to her. So anyone who performs devotional service in this month pleases Srimati Radharani. And what is the result? When Radharani is pleased, Krishna is automatically pleased. We don't have to take any extra effort. So this is what the Acharyas explain. And Satyavata Muni, he is trying to impress upon the point that the beauty of Lord Damodar, beauty of that Lord Damodar, it surpasses all beauties in this material world. So if we can absorb our mind in thinking about Krishna, about his beautiful form, about his pastimes, about all the pastimes that are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. If we can do that, then we will notice all other things in the material world become stale, because the attraction towards the pastimes of Krishna is so vast, so great, that the heart becomes full with devotion. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says, Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadev hridayeshu vilokayanti. So if one can somehow or the other put the ointment of love in the eyes, ointment of love, is it available in a store? In Baba Ramdev's store? In Global Mall? In Kroger? In Publix? Nowhere. That ointment of love is dependent upon our love for the Lord, our devotional service practice. That is how that ointment of love, that when it goes into the eyes, which means when we have experienced love for Krishna, then we can see Krishna face to face. Srila Prabhupada said, it is not difficult to see Krishna face to face and talk to him. All we have to do is just purify our intelligence and senses. So we see that this pastime of Yashoda binding Lord Krishna to the mortar, little Damodar, took place in Gokul, and it was on the day of Diwali. Diwali falls on 12th of November, correct? That's what I've heard, 12th of November. What do we do when Diwali comes? Wear new clothes. This is what we used to do in childhood. Wear new clothes.
Light lamp. We light lamps.
Yes, light lamps. Eat a lot of sweets. Burn a lot of fireworks, right? That's not Diwali, what Diwali is all about. Diwali is a time when we meditate on this pastime of Lord Damodar. Diwali is the time when we try to light up our hearts with love for Krishna. You see? So this month of Kartik is very, very, very important. So here we see this pastime taking place on Diwali day in Gokul, and we see how, Yashoda Maya is running after Krishna to catch him. Many yogis also try to catch Krishna, but it is not possible to catch him. Many people pray in awe and reverence. They request the Lord, but the Lord keeps running away until and unless one becomes a pure devotee of the Lord. Once a person becomes a devotee, pure devotee of the Lord, then the Lord automatically comes to that devotee. Then there's no need for that pure devotee to run around trying to catch Krishna. So we see Yashoda Maya, of course, she loved Krishna very, very much. And we see in this pastime their loving exchange between them. She's trying to bind him and he's trying to run away, and he's being fearful, just to have Yashoda Maya enjoy this pastime of Lord Damodara. And of course, we see that once he is tied up, Yashoda goes away to do her work, churning butter or whatever. And what does Lord Damodar do? He starts crawling with the mortar tied on his back. He's crawling, and he goes in between the Yamala Arjuna trees, those two trees that had been cursed. and had been standing in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj for thousands of years. He goes in between those trees and he brings those trees down completely, and both the trees, they get liberated, they get their spiritual forms, and they go back. So these are the two reasons that this pastime of Lord Damodar takes place. So here, Damodar month is also called Kartik, and Srila Prabhupada says this is actually a bonus month. When we, especially, I don't know if over here in the US they give bonus, but I know in India they used to give bonus, especially at Diwali time. You get an extra paycheck, like 1 month's salary as a bonus. So this month is bonus. It's a bonus month for us in the whole 12 months. And it is said anyone who does devotional activity gets benefit 1000 times, and it is a favorite month of Srimati Radha Rani. Now, devotional service in this month has multiple benefits. It helps us to increase our love for Krishna, increase our bhakti. It is also an opportunity that we can focus on Krishna in this month. Of course, some, renounce excessive eating, excessive sleeping. We heard in the Bhagavad Gita, eating too much, sleeping too much is very harmful for the body. So if we can also take a vow to not only focus on remembering Krishna, but also reducing our eating and sleeping. The purpose is to please the Supreme Lord. So this month we have it now, but we don't know if we'll have it next year. What do you think? Is there a possibility we may not have the opportunity for Kartik month next year? What do you think?
Yes, we might die.
Exactly. So why do we take it for granted that, well, if I don't observe austerity this time, next year I'll do it, right? Keep it for next year, but there is no guarantee that there will be a next year. So let us take full benefit of this month, go deeper into understanding, deeper and deeper by studying Srila Prabhupada's books. That way we can also, not only progress spiritually, but go closer to Krishna. So these are the glories of this month of Damodar. If anyone has any comments or want to add to it, you are welcome to do that.
Mataji, I also heard that